Millionaire single dad pretends to be broke on every blind date until he meets a waitress who... Marcus Ashford owned half of Manhattan's skyline, but tonight he sat in a greasy diner wearing a jacket from Goodwill, waiting for another woman who'd eventually disappoint him. Date number 12. 12 blind dates in 4 months. 12 women who'd arrived, excited to meet Mark, the aspiring photographer who drove a beat-up Honda. 12 women who'd suddenly remembered prior commitments once they realized his bank account matched his car. The door opened. A redhead in Louboutin click-clacked toward him, her smile bright until she saw his thrift store outfit. Mark? Her voice went flat. That's me. I'm actually not feeling well. Rain check? She was already turning. Marcus didn't even bother responding. He just watched her designer heels flee toward a Tesla parked outside. Another one bites the dust? He looked up to find Elena Rodriguez, the evening waitress, refilling his water with a sympathetic smile. She'd witnessed this routine for months now. His parade of failed dates. His growing cynicism. Is my desperation that obvious? Marcus asked. Only to someone who's been watching. Elena winked. Pie on the house. You look like you need it. You don't have to. I want to. She returned moments later with apple pie, sliding into the booth across from him. Slow night. Tell me what you're really looking for, Mark. Something about her directness disarmed him. Someone real. Someone who doesn't care about appearances or status or what I can buy them. Then why do you keep meeting women through that expensive matchmaking service? Elena tapped his phone where the Elite Connections app glowed. I've seen that logo. My roommate used it. $5,000 to join. Marcus blinked. How did you... I'm observant. She stood up as another customer signaled. Maybe you're fishing in the wrong pond, Mark. Over the next 3 weeks, Marcus found himself returning to the diner without scheduled dates. Just him, his laptop, and Elena's easy conversation during her breaks. He learned she was 28, putting herself through art school while supporting her younger sister. That she'd grown up in the Bronx. That her father had been a taxi driver who died when she was 19, leaving her to raise Sophia alone. Why art school? Marcus asked one evening. Because I'm good at seeing what others miss, Elena said, sketching on her order pad. People hide themselves. Their real selves. But everyone has tells. She turned the pad around. She'd drawn him, not the shabby clothes or cheap watch, but something in his eyes. A loneliness that looked familiar. That's... Marcus couldn't finish. The real you? Elena's eyes held his. Yeah, I thought so. That night, Marcus went home to his penthouse and stared at the drawing. She'd seen him. Actually seen him. And she had no idea who he really was. The next day, he hired a private investigator. Not to spy, he needed to know if Elena was playing him too. If somehow she knew. The report came back clean. Elena Rodriguez exactly who she claimed to be. Student loans, 2 jobs, raising her sister in a rent-controlled apartment in Queens. No connections to his world. No possible way of knowing that Mark was Marcus Ashford, CEO of Ashford Technologies, worth $2.3 billion. Marcus felt something unfamiliar, hope. 2 weeks later, Elena rushed past his booth without acknowledgement. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Elena? He caught her wrist gently. What's wrong? I can't, I'm working, Mark. But her voice shattered. Talk to me. She collapsed into the booth, words tumbling out. Sophia, her 17-year-old sister, had been accepted to Princeton, full academic scholarship. But there were fees, deposits, housing costs the scholarship didn't cover. $28,000 they didn't have. She's so smart, Mark, smarter than anyone I know. This is her shot to escape, to have the life I couldn't give her. And I'm going to have to tell her no because I'm short. $28,000. Elena's hands trembled. What kind of guardian does that make me? Every fiber of Marcus is being screamed to fix it. He could write a check right now. Could change everything with 6 words. Let me take care of it. But he'd been here before. The moment money entered, everything changed. People became performers, grateful prisoners in a gilded cage of obligation. How long until the deadline? He asked carefully. 6 weeks. Then we have 6 weeks to figure it out. We? Elena looked at him strangely. I care about you. Both of you. Let me help you think through options. That night, Marcus made discreet calls. Not to pay, that would reveal everything, but to investigate. He learned Princeton had emergency funds for exactly these situations. That there were grants, local scholarships, community programs. He contacted 5 foundations, anonymously, and directed them toward Sophia's application. He reached out to Princeton's financial aid office through a proxy, flagging her case for review. 4 days later, Elena practically flew to his table. Mark, you won't believe it, Princeton reevaluated Sophia's package. Between new grants and this foundation that appeared out of nowhere, we only need $4,000 now. I can handle that. I can do payment plans, extra shifts. Mark, she's going to Princeton. Marcus felt warmth flood his chest. Elena, that's incredible. She threw her arms around him and Marcus held her, breathing in the scent of coffee and vanilla, feeling something shift in his carefully guarded heart. When she pulled back, her eyes were searching. Did you do this? Me? I'm a broke photographer, remember? No, Elena said slowly. You're not. Marcus's blood went cold. What? I've known for 2 weeks. She pulled out her phone, showing him a Forbes article. Marcus Ashford, tech billionaire, remains notoriously private despite fortune. How did you? You left your laptop open? Your email was up, your real email. I wasn't snooping, it was just there. Elena sat across from him. I've been waiting for you to tell me. Marcus felt his world tilting. And you said nothing? I wanted to see what you'd do. If you'd use your money to manipulate me or if you'd... Stay. You. Her voice softened. You helped my sister without revealing yourself, without making me owe you. That's not manipulation, Marcus. That's kindness. You're not angry I lied? Are you angry I knew and didn't say anything? Elena countered. We were both testing each other, both scared. But here's what I learned. The man sitting in this booth for 4 months, eating terrible pie and leaving $100 tips you thought I wouldn't notice? That's who you are. Billionaire or not. You notice the tips? Marcus, I'm a waitress. I notice everything. She reached for his hand. I liked you when I thought you were broke. I like you now that I know you're not. Because money isn't character. How you treat people is character. And you, Marcus Ashford, have more character than any rich man I've ever heard of. Most people change when they know. Most people aren't me. Elena squeezed his hand. My shift ends in 20 minutes. Want to go somewhere that doesn't smell like frying oil? Maybe somewhere honest? Where you can be yourself, and I can stop pretending I don't know you own the building we're sitting in? Marcus laughed, really laughed for the first time in months. I don't own this building. You don't? No. I've been trying to buy it for 3 months, but the owner won't sell. Says it's been in his family for 40 years. Good for him, Elena grinned. Some things aren't for sale. No, Marcus agreed, looking at her. Some things aren't. 20 minutes later, they walked out of the diner together. Marcus's driver, who he'd been hiding for months, waited at the corner, and Elena laughed when she saw him. How long has he been parking around the corner? Since day 1. I told him to stay out of sight. You really committed to this broke photographer bit. Can you blame me? Marcus helped her into the car. Everyone I've ever dated wanted my wallet, not me. I want both, Elena said honestly. I want the man who sat in a diner for 4 months eating bad pie. And yeah, I want the man who helped my sister without needing credit for it. They're the same person, Marcus. You just needed someone to see that. 6 months later, Marcus proposed in that corner booth at the diner. He'd bought the building, not from the owner who wouldn't sell, but from the bank when it foreclosed, then immediately sold it back to the original owner for $1 with the condition it'd stay in his family. Elena said yes before he finished asking. A year after that, they married in a small ceremony that mixed tech moguls with art students, billionaires with waitresses. Sophia gave Elena away wearing her Princeton hoodie. At the reception, Elena's maid of honor asked the question everyone wondered. How did you know he was the one? Elena looked across the room at her husband, who was laughing with her sister about something. completely at ease. Because he saw me first, Elena said simply. Not my situation or what he could fix, just me. And I saw him too. The lonely billionaire who wanted someone to want him. Not his money. We saw each other's truth. That's rare. That's everything. Marcus caught her eye and smiled. That same vulnerable smile from the diner booth. Elena smiled back. Money hadn't brought them together. It had almost kept them apart. But truth? Truth had made all the difference.